Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Mahesh Saule, Assistant Professor at Shuraj College, Gadinglas. We have started syllabus of Advanced Accountancy paper second, and for this semester we are having income tax. From this syllabus, we have completed already one chapter, Introduction and Residential Status and Tax Liability, and also we have started that computation of income from number of sources, mainly that sources of incomes which are classified into 5 types. That person having income, that any person has been earned income, that income may be arrived from any definite source, and the total sources which are classified into 5 types were also called as the heads of income. There are 5 heads of income. That first head of income, that is income from salary, and this topic we have already completed, and in this topic we have studied how to compute the taxable income which is earned by a person through salary. Then now we are going to start that new head of income, that is second head of income, that is income from house property. For salaried income, to determine that particular income as a salaried income, there was one condition. Means there are 2 persons, one is payer and another one is payee. That relation between that 2 persons is that of employer and employee, and that income which is earned by that person through employment, that income will be treated as a salary income, and that will be taxable into that particular head. That head is called as a income from salary. And there were total 3 sections were available under section 15, 16 and 17. For this second head of income, that is income from house property, there are total sections which are available, that is section 22 to 27. These sections which are available for income from house property. To determine that particular income as an income from house property, there is also one condition. There are 2 persons, one is payer and another one is payee. That relation between that 2 persons is maybe of owner and tenant, and if that income is earned by that person through rent, then that income will be treated as a income from house property, and that will be taxable under this head. Next slide. This is our topic, income from house property. Before to study how to compute that taxable income from house property, firstly we should know that is the basis of charges. That section 22 is there. In that section, that basis of charges are given. That first point is there, the property should be consist of any building. When we are treating that is income from house property, there should be a house property, there should be a building, there should be a flat, there should be a house. Then that any income is earned through that property, then only that is taxable under this head. Then second point is there, assessee should be the owner of the property. Means when we are treating that is income from house property, there should be house, and that assessee should be the owner of that property. Then only that income earned, that will be taxable under this head. And third one point is there, that property should not be occupied by the owner for his own business or profession. If that any one of the house property is there, and if that owner is using that house property for his own business or profession, then any income earned through that property will not be taxable under this head. Means to determine that particular income is a house property income, then there should be a house or building or that any kind of flat that should be owned by that assessee should be owner of that property, and that property should not be used or occupied by the owner for his own business or profession. Then that any income is derived from that property, that will be taxable under this head. Next slide. Then before considering or before starting to compute that income from house property, firstly we should know the types of house properties. We can say these are the classifications of house properties. That total classification made into 4 categories. Means there are 4 types of house properties. First one is SOP, second one is LOP, third one is there DLOP, means deemed LOP, and fourth one is there business asset. Means that total house properties which are there are 4 types. That first one is SOP property. SOP means what? It is called as a self-occupied property. That any one of the property is used by the owner for his own residential purpose, then that property will be called as a SOP property, self-occupied property. That property which is used by the owner for his own residential purpose, then it will be called as a SOP property. The next one is there, LOP property. LOP means what? That is let out property. That any one of the property or properties which are provided to the tenant on a rental basis, then that property will be called as a LOP property. जर ती मालमत्ता भाडेकरूला भाड्याने दिली असेल तर त्याला LOP प्रॉपर्टी म्हणतात. जर ती मालमत्ता घर मालक स्वतः राहण्यासाठी वापरत असेल तर त्याला SOP प्रॉपर्टी म्हणतात. भाडेकरू कशासाठी प्रॉपर्टी वापरतो त्याचा आपण विचार करावा लागत नाही. जर भाडेकरूला भाड्याने दिली असेल तर त्याला LOP प्रॉपर्टी म्हणतात. That if that property is let out to the tenant, that tenant may use for residential purpose or that tenant may use for business or profession purpose, it will not be considered. If it is provided to the tenant on rental basis, then it will be called as a LOP. If it is occupied for own residential purpose, then it will be called as a SOP. Then third one point is there, deemed LOP. We know SOP, we know LOP. Then which property is called as a deemed LOP? Suppose one of the person is there and he having 4 house properties. One is at Gadinglas, one is at Kolhapur, one is at Satara, and one is at Pune. That person having 4 house properties, and that all house properties are occupied by that owner for his own residential purpose. No any properties provided to the tenant on rental basis. That all house properties which have been occupied by that owner for his own residential purpose, then income tax authority says that is sufficient to use one of the house property for residential purpose. It is not required to that all house properties for their residential purpose. म्हणजे एखाद्या व्यक्तीच्या एकापेक्षा जास्त हाऊस प्रॉपर्टीज असतील आणि त्या सगळ्या हाऊस प्रॉपर्टीज तो स्वतः राहायला वापरत असेल, सगळे SOP असतील, तर इन्कम टॅक्स अथॉरिटी काय म्हणते की त्यातली एक प्रॉपर्टी तुला राहण्यासाठी पुरेशी आहे, याची आवश्यकता नाही की तू त्या सगळ्या घरांना राहण्यासाठी वापरावं. And for that purpose, even though that all 4 house properties are occupied for his self residential purpose, that one of the properties is considered as a SOP and remaining all house properties are treated as a LOP. That are SOPs but treated as a LOP, then it will be called as a deemed LOP. म्हणजे 4 घर आहेत, त्या 4 घरामधलं एक घर SOP गृहीत धरलं जातं आणि राहिलेली घरं सगळी LOP गृहीत धरली जातात. त्याला आपण deemed, that all remaining 3 house properties are treated as a LOP are called as a deemed LOP. And fourth one is their business asset, that any one of the house properties or no number of house properties, if that owner is using for his own business or profession purposes, then that all that properties are called as a business assets. That any income is earned through that property will not be taxable under this head. But that we should have to consider only 3 types of properties. One is SOP, another one is LOP, and third one is deemed LOP. Suppose that person having 4 house properties, one should be considered as SOP, remaining 3 will be treated as a LOP. But it is in the hand of that owner, he should state which property is SOP. 4 घर आहे, त्यातलं कोणतं घर SOP आहे ते घर मालकाने ठरवायचं आहे. कोणतं घर SOP आहे ते उरलेली घरं LOP गृहीत धरली जातात. These are the types of house properties. These are the classification of house properties. Next slide. Then income from house property which is depends upon the annual value of the property. Means to compute the taxable income from house property, firstly we have to compute the annual value. And when we are going to compute the annual value, which is based on the municipal valuation of the property, fair rental value of the property, or actual rent receivable from that property, means that annual value of that property which is based on these 3 points. Means firstly we should take out that actual rental value of that house property, means total amount of rent receivable throughout the year from that property, then municipal value of that property, fair rent of that property, and standard rent. If that rent control act is applicable there, then standard rent is there. Means by considering these values we should have to compute that annual value of that properties. Next point. Then first point is there, municipal valuation. Municipal valuation means what? That value which is determined by the municipal corporation. Means if that for every properties there is a local authority, that local authority makes the valuation of that property to fix that municipal tax of that property. म्हणजे एखादं घर असेल तर त्या घराचा घरपाळा भरावा लागतो. नगरपालिकेमध्ये आपण जर असू तर नगरपालिकेमध्ये एरियामध्ये जर आपण असू तर त्या नगरपालिकेकडून आपल्या प्रॉपर्टीचं व्हॅल्युएशन केलेलं असतं आणि त्या व्हॅल्युएशन नुसार आपल्याला नगरपालिकेकडे घरफाळा भरावा लागतो. मीन्स वी शुड हॅव टू पे दॅट म्युनिसिपल टॅक्स ऑन दॅट म्युनिसिपल व्हॅल्युएशन व्हिच इज डिटरमाइंड बाय दॅट म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन. Means that municipal value of that house property which is calculated on the basis of areas. For every area that differentiate valuation of that property is there. For example, in Gadinglas, that valuation of that property which is depends upon the location of that property. Means if we are going to earn income through rent, that rent is also differentiated. If that property is at Gandhinagar, that rent is different. If that property is Ayodhya Nagar, that rent is different. Means that area wise rent is there. Means area wise different types of valuation of that properties are there. Means that municipal tax, to compute that municipal tax, that municipal valuation is made or determined by the municipal corporation. Next, fair rent is there. For fair rent, that is fair reasonable rent. That earlier I have explained that fair rent means that total amount of rent is earned through that similar property. Means minimum expected rent we can say. Means fair rent which is based on the location of that house property. म्हणजे एखाद्या घराचं जर भाडं असेल तर ते लोकेशन वर डिपेंड आहे. म्हणजे प्रत्येक लोकेशनला म्युनिसिपल व्हॅल्युएशन हे फिक्स असतं पण फेअर रेंट हे लोकेशन वर डिपेंड असतं. म्हणजे गांधीनगर मध्ये आपली एखादी प्रॉपर्टी असेल तर तिथल्या घरापासून मिळणारं भाडं किंवा वडरगे रोडला मिळणारं भाडं किंवा या ठिकाणी बहिरी रोडला असणारं भाडं किंवा गिजवणे रोडला असणारं भाडं वेगवेगळ्या एरियानुसार भाडं ठरलेलं असतं. मीन्स दॅट रेंट विच इज सिमिलर फेअर रेंट इज द रेंट विच अ सिमिलर प्रॉपर्टी कॅन फेच इन द सेम ऑर सिमिलर लोकॅलिटी इफ इट इज लेट आउट फॉर द इयर. जर भाड्यानं दिलं असेल तर त्या घरापासून किती भाडं एक्सपेक्टेड आहे त्याला फेअर रेंट म्हणतात. Then standard rent is there. It is the rent fixed under the Rent Control Act. काही राज्यांनी रेंट कंट्रोल ऍक्ट पास करून घेतलेला आहे आणि त्या रेंट कंट्रोल ऍक्ट नुसार त्या प्रॉपर्टीचं जे रेंट होतं तेवढंच रेंट काही वेळा त्या घर मालकाला आकारावं लागतं. भरमसाठ भाडं घेता येत नाही. If there is a standard rent as per Rent Control Act which is fixed, then it is called as a standard rent. Next. Then municipal tax is there. Means at the time of computing that municipal at the time of computing that annual value, firstly we should consider that all points, that is fair rent, actual annual rent, standard rent and fair rent is there. From that we have to compute that gross annual value, and from that gross annual value that municipal tax will be deducted. That municipal tax is a tax which is levied on that particular house property by that municipal corporation. That tax त्याला आपण घरफाळा असं म्हणतो. तो घरफाळा आपल्याला एकूण ग्रॉस अॅन्युअल मधून व्हॅल्यू मधून आपल्याला वजा करावा लागतं. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. दिस इज द specimen of computing annual valuation. If that property is let out, how that annual value of that property is calculated? 3 points we should have to consider. That is actual annual rent, municipal valuation and fair value or fair rent is there. Fair rental value is there. From these 3 points, that higher value is considered as a gross annual value. If that standard rent is not given, only 3 points are there: actual rent receivable from that property, annual rent, municipal valuation and fair rent is there. From these 3 values, higher value is considered as the gross annual value, and from that gross annual value we have to deduct that municipal tax paid by the owner. That balance remains, it is a net annual value. If that property is LOP, that annual value is calculated like this. These are 3 points. Higher value is considered as the gross annual value, and from that we have to deduct municipal tax paid during the year. That balance remains, it is called as the net annual value. And if that property is SOP, self-occupied property, if that property is used by the owner for his own residential purpose, then this property is called as SOP. And from that when that property is SOP, annual value of this property is always nil. Means if there is no any kind of rule or conditions are there to compute that annual value. For SOP property, annual value is always nil. Next, deductions from net annual value means that deductions which are available for income from house property. We have already studied in income from salary. There are also deductions. That two deductions were deducted from gross salary, like standard deduction which is eliminated. That entertainment allowance deduction and professional tax deduction was there. On the same manner, that section 24 is there. That deductions which are deducted from that net annual value, that balance remains, will be called as the income from house property. From net annual value, that two deductions which are available for LOP property. If that property LOP, there are two deductions. One is standard deduction under section 24A is there. For standard deduction for earlier years, there were total 8 deductions were there. That all remaining deductions are eliminated and one deduction is allowed, that is called as a standard deduction. That 30% of gross annual value, 30% of net annual value, that deduction is deducted from that net annual value for standard deduction. 30% of net annual value. This deduction is allowed for total amount of expenses which are incurred by the owner on that house property during that previous year. Means that expenses like repairs, rent collection charges, insurance, ground rent, etc. For this purpose, that owner makes that expenses. For that expenses, that deduction is allowed. That deduction is called as a standard deduction, and that percentage is given 30% of net annual value. Then second one is there interest on loan deduction under section 24B. If that interest on loan is paid during the previous year, that interest on loan is also allowed as a deduction, means that is also deducted from net annual value. If that property is LOP, there is no maximum amount of limit for this interest on loan deduction. That actual amount of interest paid during the year, that amount of interest on loan should be deducted. There is no any restrictions, there is no any maximum limit if that property is LOP. But there is a condition when we are allowing that interest on loan deduction. There is a condition that loan should be taken for the purpose of acquisition or purchase of that house property. That loan should be taken for the purpose of construction of that house property, or that loan should be taken for the purpose of renovation of that house property. If that loan is taken for any other purpose by mortgaging this house property, then this deduction will not be allowed. For example, this property is mortgaged and loan is taken, and that loan is used for the purpose of daughter's marriage, or that loan is used for the purpose of son's education, then this interest on loan deduction will not be allowed here. Means that loan must be taken for the purpose of acquisition or purchase of asset, that loan must be taken for the purpose of construction of that house property, or that loan must be taken for the purpose of renovation of that house property, then only this deduction will be allowed. सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचा मुद्दा आहे इथं इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन डिडक्शन एलओपी प्रॉपर्टी असेल तर त्याला लिमिट नाही आहे. जेवढं इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन पेड केलेलं आहे तेवढं या ठिकाणी डिडक्शन म्हणून आपण वजा करतो. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. If that property is SOP property, we know already annual value is always nil. SOP property असेल तर annual value nil असते. But for LOP property, one deduction is available. For LOP property, there are two deductions. One is standard deduction and another one is interest on loan deduction. But for SOP property, only one deduction is available, that is interest on loan deduction. But there is condition is there. If that loan is taken prior to 1/4/1999, 1/4/99 पूर्वी कर्ज घेतलं असेल, that maximum amount of deduction will be allowed ₹30,000. If that loan is taken prior to 1/4/1999, then that maximum amount of deduction is available here ₹30,000. And if that loan is taken after 1/4/1999, that maximum amount of deduction is available here ₹2 lakh. If that any amount is paid more than this amount, will not be allowed. That limit is given. If that amount is interest on loan is paid less than the limit, then actual amount paid will be deducted as a deduction. But maximum limit is given. If loan is taken prior to 1/4/1999, limit is 30,000, and after 1/4/1999, that limit is ₹2 lakh. Next. This is the specimen of that computation of income from house property. Firstly, we have to calculate gross annual value. 3 points are there: municipal valuation, fair rent, and actual annual rent of that property. Higher amount is considered as a gross annual value. From that gross annual value, we have to deduct municipal tax paid during the year. That balance remains. It is called as the net annual value. From that net annual value, we have to deduct the deductions which are available under section 24. That two deductions are there under section 24A, that is standard deduction, and 24B, that is interest on loan deduction. That standard deduction is 30%, and interest on loan for LOP, actual amount of interest on loan is there, that will be deducted as a deduction. That balance remains. It is called as a income from house property. Next slide. If that standard rent is given in the problem, standard rent as per the Rent Control Act is given in the problem, that slight changes are made than earlier. Firstly, we should have to take out A point and B point. Municipal valuation is a A point, fair rent is a B point. From these two values, that higher amount is taken first. Then C point is taken standard rent. Then higher amount and standard rent, from these two values, that lower value is taken here. Then D point is taken actual annual rent. From this lower value and actual rent, from these two values, that higher value is considered as a gross annual value. I repeat again. Here 2 points A and B. From these 2 points, we have to take out higher value. Suppose here is 1 lakh and here is 80,000. We will take here 1 lakh. From these two values, higher value will be taken here. Then standard rent is given 60,000. Here is higher value was 1 lakh. And standard rent is 60,000. From these two values, we have to take out lower value. 1 lakh and 60,000. 60,000 is a lower value. Then D point is there. Monthly rent is rupees 5,000 or 7,000. Monthly rent is 7,000. Means 84,000 is the annual rent. And lower value was 60,000. 60,000 and 84,000. From these two values, we have to take out higher value. That higher value is called as a gross annual value. And from that gross annual value, we have to deduct municipal tax paid. Then that for municipal tax also there is one condition. If we are deducting municipal tax, there is a condition that tax must be paid by the owner. If it is paid, then only deducted. If it is outstanding, will not be deducted. Suppose this year, that previous year municipal tax is paid rupees 10,000. Out of that, 2,000 belongs to previous year. 2,000 belongs to next year, and 6,000 is of current year. Means total amount of tax is paid 10,000. It includes that amount of previous year, next year, and current year. Then that 10,000 is paid during that previous year. That 10,000 will be deducted. It will not be considered whether it is for previous year or next year. That amount paid will be deducted. Suppose that for previous year we have to pay out 10,000 municipal tax. Only 6,000 is paid. 6,000 will be deducted. That any amount of municipal tax is outstanding will not be deducted. That actual amount paid is deducted, but it must be paid by the owner. Suppose it is paid by the tenant, will not be deducted. It must be paid by the owner of that house property, then only deducted that municipal tax. Then balance remains. Here it is called as a net annual value. From that net annual value, same manner we have to deduct standard deduction and interest on loan deduction. That balance remains. It is called as the income from house property. Next slide. For SOP property, if that property is SOP, we already know that annual value of this property is nil, and only one deduction is available: interest on loan deduction. For previous year, suppose that interest on loan is paid rupees 20,000 and that property is prior to 1/4/1999. That loan is taken prior to 1/4/1999. That maximum limit is 30,000. We had paid already 30,000 interest, 20,000 interest on loan. Then that 20,000 will be deducted. Suppose that property loan is taken prior to 1/4/1999 and that interest on loan is paid 40,000. Then that maximum limit is 30,000. We will deduct here only rupees 30,000. We have paid 40,000, but limit was there 30,000. Suppose that loan is taken after 1/4/1999, then maximum limit for deduction is 2 lakh. Suppose we had paid 1 lakh interest on loan, we will deduct here 1 lakh. Suppose we had paid that interest on loan rupees 2,50,000. Limit was there 2 lakh. We will deduct that deduction rupees 2 lakh only. That balance here will be in minus sign, minus form. Then it will be called as a loss from house property. This is the specimen for computation of income from SOP property. Next. Thank you.